Wow. Roger Mark from Billings, Montana. Boom, let's do this. I love X-22 reports. They're detailed, they're powerful. This has 117 views, 117,000 views. Says something very interesting. It says Pelosi's going to have this vote on Thursday, Halloween Day. This should include a majority of subpoena rights, equal allocations of staff, immediate release of all transcripts, and more. So this is playing right into POTUS' hands and the White Hats. We'll see what happens. I think they'll fall on their face, but it's going to open up equal rights on both sides. We'll see what happens.
And question witnesses. We'll have to see how this all plays out.
Let's go on here. This is FBI Director Christopher Wray. See what he says on him.
Is making progress in his investigation into the Trump-Russia inquiry origins with help from FBI Director Christopher Wray. He said, as you know, I've said previously that I felt there was failure of leadership at the Bureau in 2016 and part of 2017, but since Director Wray and his team have taken over, there's been a world of change. Barr said, I think that he is restoring the steady professionalism that's been a hallmark of the FBI. I really appreciate his leadership there. And when he was talking about the FBI in 2016 and 2017, he was talking about Comey. So he just hit Comey.
Wow. What a statement by Barr and Wray. Hopefully they're working together. Looks like they are, and they're cleaning this mess up. Like I said, criminal charges are coming. They've now stated that. It's just a matter of time when the proverbial crap hits the fan. Listen to him talk about the countries that are really upset and unhappy and working against a lot of corruption in their governments.
Have already planned for this. Why do you think Trump announced to the world that Baghdadi was killed? He wanted the deep state all shaken up. They wanted them panicking. Why? Because you do really stupid things when you're nervous and afraid. And that's exactly what they want them to do. They also want certain individuals to flip, to give them information. Plus,
we just heard from yesterday, as I was watching Alex Jones, that James Baker, the counsel for the FBI, just flipped and is giving reports and knows a lot of information. So the heat is really going to be turned up this coming year. Really, really going to be turned up. November should be really exciting, and December is going to increase. It's going to increase throughout the following next year. And by the time the elections come a year from now, I don't think the Dems will have a chance in hell of getting anybody elected. You're going to see Trump succeed gloriously again. You're going to see major, major turnouts at the polls again, record-breaking numbers, and you're going to see Trump win again. If it doesn't, then there's going to be a massive, massive upset and civil unrest in this country like you've never seen before.
They're watching them 24/7. And they're watching what they're doing, who they're communicating with. Remember, FISA works both ways. We also have to understand is that the entire world is changing right now. We are seeing people
Now listen to this. The protests that are going on worldwide. Listen to the countries he mentions.
protesting all over the place. Now, the mainstream media doesn't want anyone really to know about this, but in France, Spain, Germany, UK, Algeria, Iraq, Lebanon, Egypt, Hong Kong, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, there are a lot of people that are unhappy. They don't like the elite in control anymore. And they're protesting, and in France it's been going on for quite a while. And when you look, you can see there is unrest.
And a great deal in Hong Kong too, but go back and listen to those countries he mentioned. And the news isn't covering hardly any of this. Hardly any of this. This is why you know it's important, and you know that people are fighting for their rights and their freedoms like never before.
Rest around the world. all changing right now. Let's talk about what happened out in Syria. Remember when Trump called Schiff the biggest leaker in Washington? And he explained why he didn't want to inform the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee ahead of time about the raid that killed the Islamic State leader, Baghdadi. And he said, listen, if we told these individuals and they leaked it out, men and women and children in this area would have been put in harm's way. They would have gotten a lot of people killed. And of course, a lot of people were out there saying that's ridiculous.
That's really sad. We're going to move on here. There's a great statement by this probably general.
She gave us a treasure trove of information about where she had just been with Baghdadi in Raqqa, days, if not, within days prior. And so that was a very good lead. Unfortunately, it was leaked in a prominent national newspaper about a week.
Leaked. Again, these leaks are killing our ability in the military to do their job and putting others in danger.
A week later, and that lead went dead. So, that's the challenge we have in terms of where and how our tactics and procedures are discussed openly. There's a great need to inform the American public about what we're up to. There's also a great need to recognize things that will absolutely undercut our ability to do our job.
So the question we have to ask ourselves is, why did they leak out this information? This was a warning to Baghdadi. The mainstream media, the deep state, they were sending a warning, letting Baghdadi know that the U.S. was coming for him and allowed him to escape. This time, the Patriots were in full control. There were no leaks. And they caught him.
Again, this shows you how important controlling information leaks are. And this is a war on information like we've never seen, on rights like we've never seen before. So important. He's shown this picture before in the message to the deep state. We're going to move on. Here's an interesting statement. He says, cut the troops in there, and then in bold ISIS and the deep state ties would have been cut with Syria and ISIS. Someone had to get the message to al-Baghdadi in person. Interesting.
Location. Trump knew withdrawing troops from Syria would spark an uproar and ISIS would be emboldened because deep state ties have been cut with Syria and ISIS. Someone had to get a message to Baghdadi in person. Number two, but who could go there while missiles and bombs were being lobbed across international borders by multiple countries? So Trump manages to get both sides to agree to a ceasefire. If someone is going to meet with Baghdadi, they would have to go during the ceasefire. Number three, completely unannounced, Pelosi and Schiff, both deep state traitors, both CIA, suddenly head to the Middle East. Do you understand the significance of this time?
Okay, so both CIA traitors, Schiff and Pelosi. That makes a lot of sense. Didn't hear that before. Both CIA deep state traitors. They head to the Middle East. Wow.
If there was no troop pullout, and if a ceasefire had not been arranged, Pelosi and Schiff would have not gone. Number four, somehow, according to the New York Times, Baghdadi's location is learned while Pelosi and Schiff are in the sandbox. Understand this, folks. Baghdadi's location was discovered while Pelosi and Schiff were on the ground in the Middle East. Coincidence? Right. Number five, Trump issued command authority to take out Baghdadi last week, perhaps while Pelosi and Schiff were still in the country. It looks like Baghdadi may have been compromised by the very traitors involved with supporting him during Obama's administration. How freaking poetic. Number six, during Trump's press conference on taking out Baghdadi, he was asked if he notified Pelosi or anybody else in Congress about the planned mission. Trump stated directly that he did not tell Pelosi because he didn't want any leaks getting out or any Americans getting hurt. Boom. Number seven.
Anyhow, this is so unreal. The planning is so great and so essential to be exactly done well with no leaks.
What Q said. Why go around three-letter agencies? Because so many traitors and leakers were in those agencies. Number 10. And would you look at that? Delta Force performed this operation. What did we recently learn about Delta Force? They're part of a very special group that is home to the Northern Virginia Army. 800 intel officers who report to Trump and to Q. Number 11.
Wow. 800 Intel officers report to Q and Trump. Wow.
So again, this is all just a theory, looking from the big picture. But in case evidence surfaces that Pelosi or Schiff are exposed as having passed info to Baghdadi, you can say, hey, QAnon was tossing that theory around. If it's wrong, it's on me. Number 12, Trump credited this intelligence community, but he never said which one noticed. There were 0 leaks about this mission. That means military intelligence. Here's the USA Today article I referenced. Number 13.
We're going to leave it there. I got to close this and get to work. Powerful, powerful stuff. This is very, very interesting. We'll give you a full reference to this. Good day.